Are you surprised that they're...
I'm not surprised. I'm shocked. You go on the road to Buffalo, to where Buffalo is undefeated. They're 8-0 at home. They have listen to this, a 133-point differential in points at home, highest in the NFL, and they're not the favorite at home. That doesn't make sense to me, but whoever the movers and shakers with the lines, you know what? I got a feeling that this line is going to change by the time Friday get here. It's going to change by the time Friday get here. And you got the MVP, Josh Allen. Come on now. I don't get it.
No, I'm not surprised at all. They beat the brakes off of them in week 4.
This is a different team. This team is 2 months better.
They're both different teams, but in week 4 it was 35-10. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Different teams. Not only that, when you look at, what is it?
Where did they play? At Baltimore too?
Yeah, minus 1.5. So basically it's even, right? Let's just
usually the home team gets 3, so it's a 4.5-point swing.
So, yeah, okay, so say that.
Josh is 1-0 in the playoffs versus Lamar.
That's fine. But when you look at the history...
No Zay Flowers.
But if you look at the history, recent history of Buffalo in divisional round games at Buffalo, they go home. They don't complete the mission.
Who'd they lose to last year? Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Yep.
Cincinnati prior to that. Like, they just don't... So I can see how they're looking at all of it.
Something's got to change.
You just a Josh Allen dude. I'm a Lamar guy and a Raven guy.
I'm a Lamar guy, but I'm just going off, like, this ain't being biased. The Buffalo Bills are a really good team.
They're not better than Baltimore.
They won.
Just look at my big list.
They won 13 games.
They're not better.
This is a hard.
I mean, the Ravens lost 5 games. 2 of them, one to the Raiders, one to Cleveland.
Yeah, and they beat Buffalo 30.
That was in week 4.
It was 35-10.
Okay, and they lost to the Raiders in week 6.
This ain't the same team.
Derrick Henry had 24 carries for 199 rushing yards.
I doubt he does that this week.
200 yards. The Bills were 3 of 13 on third down, 1 and 2 in the red zone.
See, that's the key right there.
Come
Everything
on.
that happens on
This
that
is
line
not gonna happen.
Now, I understand the Ravens being the favorite. That's where the money is, and because people see what we see, they see that Lamar has a better team. So if you see that Lamar has a better team, and you still turn back around later and say, "Whatever, Lamar's the MVP." I mean, you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. That Lamar does have the better team. That's why he should. I understand him being favorite here. Now, Paul's right. It's so hard to win in Buffalo, and the only way Buffalo can win is for Superman to be more Superman, and that's all. I don't know if he don't know.
He don't know who Clark Kent is.
Yeah.
He don't even know who he is.
Yeah, but
he just stay in his cape.
But he may need to call some of his friends at the Justice League because he doesn't have any on the team. Like you see, Lamar got other superheroes. He got other superheroes.
Lamar got the Avengers over there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And so I understand it. I understand it. I just don't understand how then you don't call Josh the MVP of the league when he's been doing that.
That's all right.
But I understand
Thanos is coming.
Yeah.
That's Thanos.
Nobody is saying
that's who he is.
Josh Allen is Thanos.
That's somebody.
He beat the
I think Mahomes is Thanos.
Nobody's saying Josh Allen.
We getting out of here.
Is chopped liver and
some real superhero nerd stuff up here.
And do those things. No one's saying that. It's just that when you look at what the makeup of the Baltimore Ravens, they have more pieces. Right. It feels like they do. But coming into the season, nobody was sitting there saying Rashad Bateman was getting ready to have a breakout year to the degree where we would be saying, well, he got all these all-star weapons.
Yeah, but Lamar won the MVP last year.
Without those pieces.
And they had expectations this year. Baltimore was supposed to win the division.
And Buffalo wasn't.
Right.
And Buffalo wasn't, but guess what happened? 2 teams within Buffalo's division fell completely apart.
2 teams in the AFC North fell apart.
Who fell apart?
Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Cincinnati been doing the same thing for the last several years.
I'm also thinking on the other side.
They had expectations.
Right.
They were supposed to be in the playoffs this year.
I'm thinking on the other side, guys, too. Just think about this. Think about the mentality just going into this game. If Lamar comes out of this game with the loss, it'd be more devastating than if Josh came out with a loss.
Yes, it will.
And so,
it will.
Right, Lamar, Derrick Henry, they got to see with Derrick Henry. He doesn't know how much more. All of these guys got to see this as, man, I don't know, this may be our last hurrah, and that's the kind of intensity
He just rushed for 2,000 yards. What you mean, last hurrah?
Yeah, last hurrah at getting. It may not be his last hurrah playing, but you may not get this close again.
No, that's not true.
That's
not true.
At this age,
no, that's not true. With them, they here to stay for a minute. The Ravens, they just like the Bills. They here to stay for a minute. They here to stay.
This is a game. You're going to get injured next week, anything.
Yes, Michael, that's true.
To get that ring.
Anything could happen in terms of injuries and stuff like that, but I'm talking about healthy.
If
I'm just talking about healthy. They here to stay.
Too.
Well, between the two quarterbacks, which is more difficult to game plan against, Lamar or Josh, Michael?
This is a good question because when you start looking at it, and you guys have talked about this all the time, like you give Lamar, you give Derrick Henry at least 20 carries, they win. So, okay, from the defensive coordinator standpoint, I'm a defensive coordinator. I'm looking at this game. I'm sitting here saying, okay, when I got to worry about Baltimore Ravens, I know a third of the game, all I got to do is stop Derrick Henry.
Right.
60 plays out the game, he's going to get 20, and I'm focusing on him and Lamar. Now, when I'm playing Buffalo, I don't know who is the point of my defense, who's wearing that red shirt all week that the defense is going to focus on. So it makes it even more difficult because he is using so many more ways to win games because I know a third of him has to be Derrick Henry. Because if they're not, you're going to lose the game.
Right.
A third of them has to be. From that perspective, I say Josh.
What do you think?
I agree with the playmaker. It's so much more difficult to play against. I mean, it's so much easier to play against the predictable than the unpredictable. When you have star players, and it's the same way in basketball. Our toughest games is when the stars sat. We just saw that the other day when the Lakers played Dallas, and Dallas didn't have Luka Doncic or Kyrie, and the Lakers lost the game because it was a different game plan. Going against the Bills, who have had 13 different players have had a receiving touchdown. Now, how do you scout that? You go into the game and say, oh, who's the number one? Well, we don't know who's going to be the number one. Who's they targeted the most today? Well, they can target Kincaid. They can target, all of their different receivers. Shakir, Coleman. I don't know who they're going to target the most today. And that's what makes them so difficult because you can't say we're going to lean toward this. Whereas on the other side, they're predictable. But the thing about stars, you can know exactly what they're doing and you still can't stop it.
Yeah.
This is the easiest defensive game plan that Baltimore is going to see in the postseason.
Jeez, against the highest scoring team.
You know that, right?
One of the,
And you know why?
that was weird. That was a hot take.
You almost made me curse. Damn hot take.
That was a hot take.
You literally just almost made me curse. I almost called you something with him.
Be clipped off as a hot take.
Oh, my God.
You're going to be a part of the Buffalo Bills winning montage.
No, and that's fine.
Wait, say that again. You said this will be the Wait, say that again.
This will be the easiest defensive game plan for the Ravens this postseason.
Man, I can't wait till we replay this on Monday.
I'll say it again. You want me to say it again? Look into the
We got it on camera. We got it.
Tell us why.
Because you have one guy that you need to get to. And what the defensive coordinators and what Coach Harbaugh is going to tell the defense, they're going to say, whatever we do is 17 and get him on the ground. That's it. Everybody else, we don't have to double nobody. We can single up across. We don't have to put extra bodies and do all of those. They don't have to do any of that. They can bring extra pressure from the secondary if they choose to use Hamilton and allow him to come off the edge. They can do those sorts of things. They don't have to double Amari Cooper on the perimeter. What you got to do is get 17 on the ground. Because what the other teams haven't been able to do is get him on the ground. They've had him in the grasp, but they haven't been able to get him on the ground. And you allow him to run around. Instead of him delivering the football at 4 seconds, he's getting 6 and 6.5 seconds to get rid of the football. If you can't leave the secondary back there and they're just out there in la-la land by themselves, if you get him on the ground, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, but now if you get any quarterback on the ground.
Yeah, but we're
it's a
talking about
different
him
ball game.
in
And it's
particular,
under
though,
these-
Michael. We're not talking about any quarterback.
Right, and it's under these. But what they do, and what Baltimore will try to do, is keep him in that pocket. Now, we talk about all of these different people that he spreads the ball around to. If you keep Josh in that pocket, the reason those guys are effective and not
Yes,
so
because he's
named
buying
is
time.
because he gets to buy that time. And after buying that time, he's a little more accurate than Lamar. He's a little more accurate than Lamar, moving around, throwing the ball. He's just a little
And
bit
then on
more
the
accurate.
Lamar side of things, you got Derrick Henry, you got Lamar Jackson. Michael say you take 20% or whatever, 60%, whatever you said, 20% away from
20 plays.
20 plays away
is
from
a third.
Derrick Henry, a third. If you isolate everything on him, you know you got other weapons at his disposal.
Yeah, Lamar has more weapons to work with.
You
yeah.
have
Correct.
to figure out where Mark Andrews is at. You have to now all of a sudden figure out where Bateman is. And then there's a sneaky Aguilar that comes into a game, makes one or two big catches for you.
Well,
then you
also-
got Justin Hill in the backfield that could, on a 2x2 check down, turn around, Lamar just dump it to him, now he's off to the races. That's hard to defend on top of the RPO game.
Buffalo's going to have to
Also-
make them play from behind.
So now we get ready to say
That's it.
Lamar
That's
can't
it.
play from behind.
No,
Now
it
we get
just-
ready to say he
no,
can't
it
play
doesn't.
from
I
behind.
didn't say he can't play from
Help
behind,
take Derrick
but it
Henry
takes
out the
Derrick
game.
Henry.
Right,
it
help
takes
take
less
Derrick
And that's
time.
okay, because I can go to Justin Hill in the pass game.
That's all I'm saying.
So playing from behind, you must mean they're gonna be down double-digit touchdowns.
Well,
then.
I figure like if they can go up like 10 points,
That's
then
not
it
enough.
takes
That ain't gonna- they gonna
Derrick
erase that.
Henry
They
out
can
the
erase that,
game
'cause I can still run the ball.
in a normal game plan.
I can run the ball with 10
Well,
down.
not in the third quarter.
I can run the ball.
Boy, this is all.
I can run back. I can run the ball in the third quarter, 10 down.
This is going to be a great game. Well, we also we're kind of expanding past the quarterback conversation into like the offensive game plan.
The
Like,
game plan.
Lamar
Into the
Jackson
game
is
plan.
one of the most dynamic playmakers that the league has ever seen. So while Josh Allen has been spectacular and is likely the MVP and is Superman, we didn't mention Lamar Jackson's name enough in this conversation.
Well, I was trying to.
Well, I'll do it. Lamar is tough for everyone to game plan for, and while Josh can
Both of
definitely
them
run,
are. We were just trying to
Yeah.
dig deep into the details.
well, surfacely, I think I'm going to go with Lamar.
Okay.
If we're just saying just quarterbacks, not the weapons, not anything else.
And he done put a no-look Steph Curry in his game.
And
now.
that right there, that stuff, and he's doing it
I know
quite
this game
a
is
bit.
going to be great though, and I like that
doing it
line.
quite a
Where are we
bit.
watching this game at? We got to go somewhere and watch this game.
And that says something, Key. That also said mastery.
I think so.
That that says I
Sunday, it's
mastered
Sunday
it
at
now.
6:30 Eastern.
Sunday?
Yes.
Sunday.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.